What's up, Champions fam? It's the bad guy, a WWE champion, Zeke 4-0, back with a brand new video. I don't know if this is going to be short, sweet, and brief, so I'm going to go ahead and get right to the point. Last night, we saw the end of an era, as well as the beginning of a new one. Saturday night main event, John Cena's final match. Spoilers ahead, we got a lot to talk about. I'm currently in an MLE Deck the Rings tour right now, available for Mexico. So I don't know if that was a botch or not on Scopely's side, but I'm going ahead and just knocking it out because I do value my time. It is what it is. But let's talk about it because there's a lot to unpack from my perspective. Once again, we are going to just deep dive into things and just move forward, okay? First off, starting off the night, the card. The first match of the night, Cody Rhodes versus Obafemi. Now, right out of the gate, I'm going to tell you straight up, there are far in between times where you have the champion come out first. What I mean is there are only a few occasions that I recall in WWE, let alone WWF, where the World Heavyweight Champion came out before their opposition, okay? There's only been a few times, and it's very, very rare. You can throw in the Elimination Chamber and everything like that, or even the Royal Rumble, where the championship's on the line and the champion's in there. But outside from that, there's very few times where the face that runs the place is the guy that comes out first. And last night, Cody Rhodes showed out. He came out first. He did his thing. He had everyone, whoa. Pyro did his thing. But when you are going to put somebody over, the one thing about Saturday night main event last night, the beautiful concept was the present versus the future. This is what wrestling is all about, people. Back in the day, you had that all the time. You could have called someone a JAG or a jobber. But guess what? Brooklyn Brawler was going up against Razor Ramones, okay? You had those people that were used to propel talent while showcasing their own talent while solidifying the card. You had different matchups. You had different styles. That's a part of wrestling. Last night, that was a love letter to wrestling as well as an ode to John Cena. He went on at the end, OG putting on a classic in my mind when it especially comes to the storytelling of wrestling with a future talent that's going to be around and they're investing a lot in when it comes to Gunther. But we also got to see current, amazing, incredible talents go toe-to-toe with present talents that are making a name for themselves. So Cody comes out first, right? And this is when I'm a big fan of certain wrestlers. When certain people come out, I'm like, this is my guy. This is my girl. This is the dude. This is the husbando I'm going to pull for when Champions pulls the trigger. This is the wife who I'm going to pull for. Obafemi has been a dude that's been in NXT for 3 years. And ever since he came on the scene, it's been a natural push. He has been pushed to basically be NXT's Brock Lesnar. He has been pushed to take the place of Gunther, Walter, being that final boss, the mountain that has to be climbed and conquered. He oozed machismo with the whole setup that they've done with him, from the whole thing with Ricky Saints and him being told whoever wins this match by Cody Rhodes himself, whoever wins that NXT title bout is going up against me. He comes in and does a promo on Friday Night SmackDown. As soon as he pulls up the intro itself, Cody goes to speak. I'm breaking down stuff while I'm doing this, and it's going to take longer for me to do this. But you know what? I am who I am, right? At the end of the day, long story short of it, he comes out. The whole arena fades, the black, the green comes up, the red ties into it. He does his march down to the ring, steps toe-to-toe to Cody. Then we roll into this Saturday night main event. Cody's out there first. He's taking his jacket off, but you see the concern on his face already. It's like, this is a guy who's confident. This is a guy who respects the craft. this guy is going to be a problem. He's not coming at me heelish. He's just coming to me and let me know I'm going to come through. I'm coming to step into you to let you know that I am here and I am going to go through you to get to where I need to be. And that is exactly what we got in his intro. The crowd, the WWE Universe, knew the assignment when Oba pulled up. This is a guy that we want. Here's looking at you, LA Knight. Yeah, pray that you come back from the gulag sooner rather than later and get that World Heavyweight Championship push. But for right now, it's about Oba. As soon as the drums, bum 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 hoo, bum bum hoo, bum bum hoo. You see the silhouette of him. The crowd knew the assignment. They joined in on the chant. They started saying Oba as he marched down to the ring. And I want to just say something too. There's an art to wrestling, y'all. When Oba does his march and gets to the ramp and then he gets to the rope and steps in, he literally timed it. I saw it on Friday and then I caught it Saturday night. He literally times it when he gets into the ring. He'll step into the ring and then he'll take an extra step so he can do the bump, bump, bump. And each time his foot lands, he takes the position to hold up his title. There is a purpose behind everything. This match was to showcase both champions, and I was highly concerned because it's who's going to win. You don't want Cody to lose. You don't want Oba to lose. You want to show both of these guys off because you're showing the future and you're showing your current product. Cody put up an excellent contention. Oba was just proving, I'm not afraid of you. I am going to cut through you. I'm going through you. I am not afraid of you. It was perfect masterclass. There was a bump that went a little crazy. Cody started showing blood when it came to the announce table, but that added to it. It's like, dude, Oba was going toe-to-toe with Cody, telling a methodical wrestling story. Now, for me, I honestly thought, no lie, I honestly genuinely thought that he was going, like, this is how I thought. Either Drew was going to get involved because Drew was all like, I'm not going to be there because I'm fearing for my life, or Ricky Saints was going to pull up. And with Ricky, I thought it was going to be interesting because Ricky Starks and Cody Rhodes, best of friends. Ricky got in trouble with AEW because he went to the Royal Rumble when Cody won. He celebrated with him. That's why we didn't see Ricky for a while. He pulls up in NXT as Ricky Saints, becomes NXT champion. He goes toe-to-toe with Oba. I was literally thinking that it could have gone two ways. Either Drew McIntyre is going to pull up to get his get back. DQ's going to happen regardless, right? And because he attacks Cody, that means that Oba loses, Cody wins. Or Ricky pulls up, Ricky could attack Oba, or because I know they're teasing it with Homelander Cody, I was thinking maybe Ricky Saints pulls up and helps out Cody Rhodes. I was looking for that, but instead Drew pulled up, match gets a DQ ending, call it a night. It is what it is. But what happens after the match? Oba is frustrated at the fact that Drew ruined that opportunity for him. So Cody and Oba do some babyface moves here. Cody hits the cutter. Oba comes through with a powerful slam down to the mat on Drew. Stood toe to toe with him. Feared no man. Oba's over. Oba, when he drops that NXT title, he's going to be the next big thing like Brock Lesnar. He's the one who's got next. And I know all of y'all, a lot of y'all, a majority of people are feeling some type of way about Gunther. Look, if these things play out right, Oba could be the dude that does the job on Gunther. That's what I'm saying. I'm just putting that out there, okay? Next match. I still liked how it ended. They showed respect. They tapped belts. They did it the proper way. Protects both of them. It's understandable if you're following the story. Again, it's Saturday Night Main Event, so technically it's kind of like it's not canon. It's not affecting the main storylines of anything on Raw, NXT, or SmackDown. It's a one-off, so they're safe. Oba looks great. People love him. Cody looks great. They did their thing. Following match, Bayley versus Sol Ruca. Now, I'm going to be realistic with y'all. Bayley is a GOAT in her own right. I'm not going to lie to you. But Sol Ruca gives me the vibe of my G, bro. Matt Riddle, and a little twist of it's cool. Everything's cool with Rob Van Dam. Compacted into a slim, thick waifu variant. Surfer style, baby. Reggie, you blew up from Rocket Power. Salute to you, my girl. But look, Sol Ruka, this is crazy. Bayley comes out with Lyra, pulls up. She got the tassels on like Randy Savage. She's got the never give up head the band armband on her because of respect to John Cena. And he also did a thing where before he rolled out, he did show up. He pulled up, I believe, to one of her wrestling events to show support and show out to the young wrestlers that are coming there. She pulls up. Then Sol Ruka pulls up with Zarya, my muscle mommy from down under. I cannot wait for Zarya and Rhea Ripley to clash. I'm already looking at it. This is going to be like, wow. Two Australian outback Chinas going toe-to-toe. Let's go. But nonetheless, it was good. It was a showcase of Sol Ruka's talents. It was a showcase of Bayley as an OG. There, again, a lot of times we get like, I believe we've been catered to a lot now. And now because you have the internet, it throws off the full experience as a fan or an observer of wrestling. We got to remember, it's not just about the flashy moves and going for 5-star matches. Sometimes it's just telling a story. Sol Ruka was, in a sense, she was going in up against an OG. Bayley knew how to play into the roles. She was able to scout and feel Sol Ruka out. She was able to get out certain counters. She was aware. But Sol Ruka, her gymnastic skills are on some next level Tiffany Stratton type stuff right now. I'm not even going to lie to you. The way that Sol Ruka moves, she's a ballerina in the ring, bros. She's a ballerina in the ring, queens. She floats. She floats, and she's got that peppy, optimistic, go with the flow type thing. It's like you can't get under her skin. But if you ever do get under her skin, it's like when you're dealing with that quiet kid in school. All they want to do is just go and do their time and leave, and you go to poke the bear, and you realize you thought it was easy pickings, and you find out it's the wrong one. I got that feeling that's what's going to happen with Sol. She's that chill person, but when you push her to the limit, could make for a good heel turn. But nonetheless, Sol did some amazing trapeze, doing DDTs, floating across the top rope. Bayley's doing some good counters. She's aware of her around the ring, so like around the ring post. So she's like, okay, I'm not trying to get you there, because there was a thing, if you noticed, if you go and watched it, Sol was fighting her and getting her in the corner. Like they kept getting in the corner, right? But it's a thing of like Bayley's aware that you do your stuff off this top rope. If I get in the corner, you're going to try to do something. Like, so Bayley's trying to keep her in the middle of the ring because she knows I can do something here. I'm not paying homage to Randy Savage yet with the elbow drop. I'm going to do the high flying, not you. Class is in session. Sit your ass down. Teacher Bayley, the role model's about to talk to you. But it was cool because I was concerned there was going to be interaction, involvement from Zarya or Lyra. But cool tip when you see a match where the managers don't get involved in the sense of botching the match. Like they might have had tension outside of the ring, but they weren't going to risk it. There were a couple times where it looked like it could be, but got through it. But there was one moment that blew my mind because it's the selling of Bayley. Bayley did hit her with the Bayley to belly. It's one of those finishers, like it's kind of similar. It's kind of similar to like the people's elbow and the rock bottom. Like you can switch out. She has finishers like that. If one don't work, the other one will. Similar to Kurt Angle, right? Kurt Angle going to hit you with the angle slam. 1, 2, 3. Or he can tap you out with the angle lock. But if he puts you through the angle slam and you get out and he pulls them straps down and puts you in that ankle lock, let alone he sinks it down and locks it in, you know it's over, right? You know it's over. So Bayley tries to hit that move. She can't. She doesn't put her away. So then she goes for the rose plant. And this is beautiful. She goes for the rose plant, but Sol Ruka says, "Nah, not today." Stops it. But the counter, she has enough time. The camera catches it alongside the bakery. If you know, you know. Bayley yams. She counters the rose plant, and Bayley just has this face of shock, like, That wasn't supposed to happen. She gets but then this is the even crazier part. Later on, she hits the move. She hits the rose plant. She rolls up Sol Ruca, but once again, we're in the corner. We're in the corner. We're like, come on now. She's in the corner. Sol Ruca's rolled up by Bayley, but Sol extends her leg so her foot is on the rope. Stops the count. Then it just becomes this succession because they get into the flow. She's gotten out of this. She's gotten out of the rose plant. She survived this. She survived. She countered the rose plant. She survived the Bayley to Bayley. She takes the rose plant and she almost gets the pin, but Ruca kicks out. Next thing you know, Sol just gets in the game mode and flows that corner. This is the thing that gets me. And this is what sells it to me. Sol gets Bayley, sets Bayley up for the Soul Snatcher. This finisher is elegant. I am praying for a Randy Orton Sol Ruca like RK Sis moment where he hits a killer RKO and she hits the Soul Snatcher because she hits Bayley. But again, ring IQ. Bayley is a OG. She gets hit by the Soul Snatcher, but she's by the ring apron. She drapes herself off because she knows she got me. If I don't get out of this ring somehow, she got me. I can't do nothing. Bayley gets out of the ring, gets her legs out. Sol has to work to pull her back in. She goes for the pin. They go back, they go back and forth until Sol gets the 1, 2, 3. Sol Ruca beats Bayley clean. No shenanigans. And an ode to John Cena at the end with all 4 ladies standing in the ring. Now, following that, we have a killer tag team because there was only 4 matches. So they had to make sure that they got everything in here, right? So after that, we get a situation where we got our guy, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, Raw Tag Team Champions, going up against the young OG, Javon Evans and Leon Slater. From across the pond, mate. I tip my hat to you because no lie, Slater and Evans cooked. And what I liked about tonight was you weren't just getting present and future. You had odes and love being shown to TNA with Slater being there and pulling up. You had NXT getting love. I want people to also understand, yes, NXT counts as developmental, but you also now got to look at it now. The Evolve brand that they have basically is now acting like the FCW, which is in turn basically NXT now. NXT is main brand WWE. It's all WWE. It's just how it's portrayed. Realistically, it's 3 brands. They're all main roster because they're all on the payroll. Every single man and woman that does their thing does their thing. But showing and paying ode to TNA by having AJ Styles in it, OG. Then you have a young OG. You got Dragon Lee finally getting his love because things didn't work out with LWO. It is what it is. You got Slater getting some love, showing TNA total nonstop action. You had Michael Cole showing love to Taz from AEW because Taz was there when John Cena made that debut, right? So you had Elias in attendance. You know what I mean? Kevin Owens was there. Sami Zayn was there. Trish Stratus, Eva Torres. People showed out for this. But these 4 gentlemen knew the assignment. John Cena, first there was rumor that John Cena was going to be there for only, first they were saying John Cena and Gunther was going to start off the night. Then come to find out they were going to end the night, but they were going to be given all the time they needed. These 4 men showcased that you can take 5, 7, 10 minutes and make a story because it reminded me of the WWF days. Y'all remember those days, or let alone the Ruthless Aggression PG days with them 3-minute waifu diva matches? Y'all remember that, right? If you were there, you should have been there. And if you weren't, well, it is what it is. That's why we got YouTube. But nonetheless, they took what they had and made it work. Total nonstop action, constant pickup and flow, consistent chemistry. And then on top of that, you're just seeing Evans and Slater showing this acrobatic, immaculate display of talent that many people wish that they would. This was giving me Billy Kidman vibes, Paul London vibes, Brian Kendrick vibes. If you know, you know. Okay? This was like a cruiserweight classic. It was like the spirit of Eddie Guerrero was just like, let them cook. They showed out. Granted, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, they got the 1, 2, 3. The TNA had to take the L. WWE had to look strong. Slater took the L from AJ Styles. TNA OG putting down a young OG. But they showcased their talents. They got everyone's energy up. Got the show keep going. And then it was what it was. It was now time for the final time. Now, bro, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, and I'm gonna be realistic because this stuff just hits different. So let me just talk to y'all. There's times in life as a human being where you gotta sit back and think about what you've been around to witness, what you were born to experience, and let alone have the opportunity to be a part of, or the history that came from prior, and to be able to understand what is going on. So, we get to the main event. Gunther is coming. First, I thought Gunther was in the middle of the ring. No, it's our guy, The Miz. The Miz, must-see superstar because he lost in the last time is now. And people don't understand. Miz is one of those dudes. Miz, to me, as much as I love him, as much as people hated him last night, Miz is a guy that reminds me of Triple H. He never was the guy, but he was the guy that went toe-to-toe with the guy or guys. You understand what I'm saying? Triple H was champion. Triple H did things. He had D-Generation X, Evolution. But Triple H wasn't The Rock. Triple H wasn't Stone Cold Steve Austin. Triple H was not The Undertaker. Triple H was not Kurt Angle. Triple H was not Brock Lesnar. Triple H was the guy that went up against the guys, Mick Foley included, Kane during his time. You see what I mean? Miz is the same thing. He's been champion. He main evented WrestleMania and beat John Cena. Big match John. Thanks to The Rock. But the point is, he beat him at WrestleMania. He brought life back to the Intercontinental Championship with Dolph Ziggler. He had his moment with Shane, for better or worse, as the best tag team in the world. He had his moment with Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack. He had his moment where he ran down Roman Reigns in the ring, as well as John Cena. Miz has had his moments. Tag team with R-Truth against The Rock and John Cena. Miz has been a part of Cena's life as much as people want to ignore it. The same time Cena was coming around, same time Miz came around. And people don't think about that. For him to lose and not to go up against Cena and to keep getting slighted, he had his moment. He put it out there. He's speaking facts. You might hate him, but realistically, The Miz had all the right to be on that Saturday night main event. But then he was like, I'm going to get my moment. But a good friend of ours, a good friend who's best friends with the guy so much that I almost spelt out Ron Cena. We got our guy, R-Truth, coming through. Might as well just type Truth because it'll set you free. We got Truth pulling up and just breaking things down. Saying, hey, man, it is. Realistically, you wasn't even supposed to be in the tournament because I got the ball of the name of the person that was supposed to be in it. And of course, TNA love, even though he's now officially with WWE, right? Miz gets the ball, opens it up, reads the name. First it's inaudible, but you should know who it is. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Bum, bum. Look, Joe Hendry somehow, magically, he was probably chilling underneath the ring the entire night. Pulls up, does his thing against The Miz. Ron Cena for the night teams up with Joe Hendry, hits the double, the double stereo, the dual stereo, you can't see me. 5-knuckle shuffle. Joe Hendry puts in some work. R-Truth sends him home. They hit the whole move. R-Truth is funny because Joe, I keep on calling him John because of how over he is. He basically was a John Cena of TNA with how over he got. Joe Hendry's so used to doing the pan and doing the turn, but R-Truth does it with him, and it's just so funny because R-Truth just keeps like his eyes are like, hey, like looking the wrong direction. Then he realized, oh snap, I gotta look forward. But it was just priceless seeing that. It was just a good little thing before, and then finally, of course, Gunther enters the fray. Now, this was cool. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to lie. Ever since I found out about this dude, ever since he first came into the game, let's keep it a buck, y'all. Walter, Ring General, Imperium. The ring is sacred. He's been that dude. He's been that dude since independent wrestling, doing his stints, doing his circuits. He has been a problem ever since NXT UK, ever since he pulled up on Pete Dunne. Walter is an ode. Gunther is an ode to OG wrestling. The Bruno Sammartinos, you know what I mean? The Koloffs, the Volkovs, the Moraleses, you know what I mean? The Santanas, the Billy Grahams, okay? Dr. Death, all right? Walter is no-nonsense wrestling. Walter and Cena did something that Oba and Cody did on Friday Night SmackDown. Cena said what he needed to say on one promo. Walter came in and said what he needed to say. And it's simple and plain. Gunther, basically said it, and it sums it up. John, you have my respect because you are, hands down without question, paraphrasing here, the best sports entertainer in the world. But me, I am the best wrestler in the world. There's your story. John Cena ushered in sports entertainment. Stop me when I'm telling lies. He's ushered in sports entertainment. Walter is wrestling. It's two dynamics. It's two parts. Two sides of the same coin. Okay? Walter is no nonsense. He doesn't do the flippy, dippy, scrippy. He doesn't do it. If he goes up, Walter Gunther, when he moves, he is methodical. Like I said that earlier. Everything is with purpose. He studies. He watches tape. He is the guy that isn't going out to the bar. I don't know if he does or not. He is the guy that comes across as, it is the ring or nothing. It is the ring or nothing. And that ties back to what I wanted to say earlier about Javon Evans. Kudos to Javon Evans because he took a hit when he said what he spoke on Twitter. Social media gets us in trouble. Speaking on the fact of he don't care for AEW. A lot of people look at it like burning a bridge. I get it. You're a professional wrestler. You want to wrestle. You want to keep wrestling to take care of your family. What if things don't work out in WWE? He's saying, back then he said, no, WWE is where it's at. That's all I want to be at. That's all I've dreamed of being. Screw the other side. If it don't work out here, it don't work out here. But this is my zenith. This is my apex. So I got to give kudos to Javon Evans, learning to eat crap, learn to like the taste of it, but still being given these moments. Tying back to the fact that he got his official win on the main roster against The Miz. Miz been putting people over just like Cena, but we're going to get to that, right? But the tie into it, Gunther is a guy. Walter is a guy. He's precision. Everything is he's tactical. If you're a high flyer, guess what he's doing? He's taking out your freaking legs. If you're a striker, guess what he's doing? He's targeting your arms. He knows what your finisher is. He's going to prevent you from doing it. And you know what ties into this? It goes back to one line that Cena said. You get nothing. A heel is meant to be hated. You get nothing. Your hero does not win. Your champion does not get the gold. You do not get to see the 5 moves of doom if I can prevent it. You do not get to see the 619. You do not get to see the RKO out of nowhere. But if you do see it, that's your one per list. If you know, you know. You might get me the first time. You ain't getting me the second time. Okay? That's Gunther. Gunther comes out with his Symphony 9. Sets the bar. And to show you why he is wrestling, how many people have you seen? Again, aside from a champion coming out first, the world champion coming out first, how many times do you see a heel get out of the ring not because he's afraid? There's the times where Goldberg went up against Hollywood Rock, Rock's in the ring acting all crazy, and then he runs out the ring. You've had those moments. Walter gets out the ring not because he's afraid of John Cena. He respects John Cena. He respects for him bringing the house. He respects what John Cena stands for. But he also knows, I have to end you. But out of respect for your night, I'm going to get out of the ring. Storytelling already started. Dude he's not afraid. I take off my robe. I'm going to step out and let you have your moment. Cena comes out. You got the animations going and running alongside, showing you all the different jerseys, all the different shirts, the uniforms, the posters, the cards, right? Because in Champions, we do cards, right? Cena comes out here, does his thing like he usually does. He hit all the stops, y'all. He hit all the stops. When you think about this man's transformation, this man came out 20 years ago answering the call. I got to do this. He answered the call from this man, Kurt Angle, who was ringside. What's your name? John Cena. What makes you different from everybody else? What do you bring that's different? Ruthless aggression. John Cena gave his all that one night with a smack to the face and gave his all and tapped out to Kurt Angle. He tapped out to Kurt Angle on his first night, y'all. 20 plus years ago, John Cena tapped out on his first night. I want y'all to understand something about wrestling if you don't know. There's people that watch and there's people that do their research. There's people that listen. I want you to understand something. Normally in wrestling, your first match in, whether on the independent scene or on TV, far in between, usually you're eating that. In other words, you're taking a pin. You come in on your back. You give to the business. You understand right out of the gate, just because I sign you don't mean that you're going to be winning all the time. You pay it forward. This man ushered in ruthless aggression. This man. So, you think you're untouchable. Change the game, y'all. Spinner belts. He took the United States title against Booker T, who was also in attendance. Best of 5 or 7 with Booker T. Had a clash with Undertaker, tying back to when Undertaker was Undisputed Champion, shaking his hand after the fight with Kurt Angle and saying, you got balls, son. You're going to be around here for a while. And then goes to this transformation of freestyle on the bus. Stephanie McMahon hears it. Changes him. He was about to be on the chopping block. Comes back with this new attitude, freestyling, and goes back up to Taker and looks at him and says, "You beefing with me now. But I remember when we first met, and what you say? You said it, I got it." I'll never get over when Taker and him had that match. Cena came out, talked his crap. Taker got on the bike, old school ABA, American Badass. Didn't even roll down to the ring. Usually used to ride around. He stopped it, turned it off, and walked slowly down to that ring and taught John a lesson. "I'm done making stars, but you try me, I'll make you famous." John Cena became famous. This man took a company. He took what Vince McMahon wanted. Bruno Sammartino held down the reins for a while. Hulk Hogan held down some time. Stone Cold and The Rock. How many times you get two once-in-a-lifetime superstars to be your marquee? Held it down for not... Real talk, think about this. The Rock and Stone Cold were basically done in 7 and 5 years. Edge wasn't the ultimate opportunist yet. Randy Orton just pulled up. Batista just got there. Triple H was the champion, but he wasn't the guy. They still needed the guy. Undertaker rolled out, had to go away, lose some weight, take some time to mourn the loss of his father, be with his mother. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Big Match John, Super Cena, was born. He changed the culture. We had to get away from the raunchiness, the disrespectful, pushing the border. Still did it here and there. He didn't say that. Tell me Vince McMahon did not just say that. If you know, you know. Needed to be kid-friendly. Need to bring in a broader audience. Need to put butts in seats. Cena stepped up when there was nobody else. Brock Lesnar left early. Goldberg was gone. John stayed. John did what Undertaker did. When everyone else left to go to WCW, Taker, Austin, Shawn, Triple H, Rock, they stayed. John stayed. What's the better option? Die young and be a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain? Shutter Island reference. Leonardo DiCaprio. Shout out to you, Goldust. This man stayed. He won when he shouldn't have won. He was on the show more than he needed to be. But Roman Reigns wasn't ready yet. He had to stay. And by him staying, and by him not losing. And it's not because he didn't want to lose. But then again, when you're the top guy, what can you do? You're the draw. That's what happened to Austin. That's what happened to Hogan. The politics. That don't work for me, brother. I'm down to lose to Brock Lesnar, but it would make more sense if it happened on a pay-per-view. Why do it on a one-off? Build up to the story. I'm taking my ball home. Cena stayed. He was praised. He was crucified. And he kept going. Make-A-Wish Foundation. Showed up for charity. Showed up for every meet and greet. Every autograph signing. He did it all. To the point that we hated him. But you don't want Edge to have the belt, right? You don't want your heel to have the belt. But who's going to take it? Now, granted, we had a couple opportunities. We missed out on some people. Alex Riley, Nexus, okay? We had some hiccups. Ryback even had some situations. Mr. Kennedy. He's a man, just like you and I. He made mistakes, but he held it down for all that time. This man held it down for over 20 years. And when he finally left, you know what he did? He wins too much. He starts losing. 3-4 year stint of not winning a match, but he kept coming back. Put over Solo, tried to put over Austin Theory, paid homage, took a L for Undertaker to get his get back while he chased the Dragon towards retirement. He gave. He gave. And we saw what became of him. Then next thing you know, he has an interesting situation. He comes across a young man that changed his life forever. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Yowie wowie. Let me in. One match. Not even a regular match. You got a touch of something that we wanted to see. A heel Cena. We saw the evolution. We saw the construction and deconstruction of the man, the myth, and the legend. And it's only because of Bray. Respect to Sean O'Haire, Devil's Advocate. Respect to Dan Spivey. Bray brought out something just like he did with Seth. The thing with The Fiend was he served as a catalyst. The Fiend didn't need the title. The Fiend went off of interaction. So then I sit back and think to myself, what if he had met back up with Roman? That touch, that heel or hurt. What if he had touched Roman? But the point is he got to Cena. Cena came back. But Cena wasn't the same. Cena started off doing all the regular things. And then that Elimination Chamber. Going up against the guy who blew him a kiss. The heist of the century, right? All it takes is 1, 2, 3. I might just roll through the audience with the title and look back and blow you a kiss. 1, 2, 3. Puts in the STFU. CM Punk after a stomp from Seth Rollins. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then DK Cena was born. The ultimate betrayal. Know what I mean? Fiend, fiend, fiend. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. The final boss enters the chat. The ultimate betrayal. The heel turn that everybody wanted, that we saw in that match between Bray Wyatt and John Cena. It came to fruition. But it didn't go the way that it did for all of us, did it? Granted, now, it's always good after to reflect on things, but realistically, did we need Travis Scott and The Rock? No. If The Rock stayed, it would have made sense. Cena selling his soul. He wanted Cody's. Cody wouldn't give it. Cena entering his final run. He's a man who wants that final title. He wants to surpass Ric Flair. He wants to be the never seen 17. He hasn't won in years. It's all or nothing. This is my last Royal Rumble. This is my last Elimination Chamber. This is my last. Cody wouldn't take that. But now I see you, Rock. I see why you left and went to Hollywood. I see why you see the movies. I see that it's less strenuous and tedious on my body. Hard times, baby. I don't got much time left. I'm going to make it count. This man wanted this thing to go on for 2 years. He wanted to do a whole thing, do 200 shows, 200 appearances. WWE TKO wouldn't give it to him. He was down for doing at least 100 shows, maybe even. That makes sense. 25 a pop. 25 on Raw, 25 on SmackDown. Gives you time to build stories, get some promos in. Then again, 25, you could do matches. You could do tag teams. You could do anything. Could have still did something. Nah, we're just going to run it in a couple months. We're going to take 2 years worth of story building and we're just going to fast forward it. It's the first of the time. You live and you learn, right? We had some good moments, got some bad moments. But the thing that Cena wanted everyone to understand was, because this was his last run, he was a heel, you get nothing. You don't get the running down. You don't get the, you can't see me. That's what a heel does. A baby face or a person that wants you to like them is going to give you everything that you want. They're going to give you the, you think you know me. They're going to give you the, oh yeah, I walk alone. They're going to give you the, I hear voices in my head. We're here. Catching flies in his mouth. That's what a face gives you. A face gives you the, I believe what you're gonna do, brother, when Hulkamania runs through you. Ode, honestly, ode to Dolph Ziggler. I could do all this and you just don't care. Respect. So what does he do? Comes out in black. Gives you the theme music. Gives you that pop. Gives you that hope. Maybe he's going to turn it. Now he's building the calculation. When is this going to come back? He's keeping the music. But when is this screen going to change from black with white lettering saying John Cena? You get nothing. So we get the Saturday night main event. We get the animation. We get him getting the camera. He comes in. He does the run-in. Pay attention to details. Cena, when he was coming down to the ring as a heel, he would take the towel and hold it up behind him. He had the belt on the back. That was his whole thing. I'm taking this with me. You never see it again. Makes him my final boss. But this night, usually whenever he has a towel, he would throw the towel out. He would give it to somebody. Last night, this man just drops the towel. He drops it. He doesn't hand it out to nobody or not. He drops it. He comes in, he runs in. Right out of the gate, Cena's doing his thing. This man then held the company down for so long. He came back to put Roman Reigns over to like, this is the guy now. This is your turn. He goes right out of the gate. He's Super Cena. They're filling each other out. He's able to hit his 5 moves of doom. Cena can't wrestle. You can't wrestle. Right? And that's something that got to him. You can't wrestle. But Cena, you're going up against the Ring General. You got no choice but to wrestle. This isn't about sports entertainment, or is it? Because the story's still being told in the ring. Cena pulls out all the stops. We get everything, man. We get the FU. They called the FU instead of the AA. Like I said, they mentioned Taz earlier. You're seeing TNA guys in the ring around. What's causing this madness? Cena puts up a fight. But Gunther had him. And the thing is, y'all got to understand something. And this is just harsh reality. Hulk Hogan said it best. Less is more, right? Now, this is the duality of wrestling. And I want y'all, I'm going to wrap this up because I just need to speak to y'all. Okay? This is the duality of wrestling. If you are a man, a master of 1,000 holds, if you will, shout out to Dean Malenko as well as Chris Jericho, you have an answer for everything, right? Bret Hart, didn't matter the opponent. He had an answer for everything, okay? Undertaker adapted to have an answer for hopefully everything. You dig? I want y'all to just grow with me, walk with me. Bray Wyatt, character development. Chris Jericho, I have to adapt. Cena's been the same ever since he started, y'all. Austin was the same. This is wild having this with y'all. Rock was the same. Brock was the same. They're all the same. When you only have 5 moves of doom, a real wrestler looking at it as a shoot, he's going to figure you out, yo. That's storytelling. Think about it. Hulk gets beat up the majority of the time. He gets his ass whooped. Cena got his ass whooped. Then the Hulk up happens. The boom, the boom, the boom, the finger taunt. Big slam, boom, big hit, boom, boom, slam, leg drop, 1, 2, 3. Cena. Think about it. Come on, the hits, the setup, bam, 5-knuckle shuffle. You can't see me. Pops up the opponent. F you. Attitude adjustment. When you are a one-trick pony against a man that has an answer for cruiserweights, who has an answer for submission masters, who has an answer for tacticians, who has an answer for brutes and monsters, and you only got 5 moves of doom. It don't matter how much you say hustle, loyalty, respect. You get nothing. Cena hit a attitude adjustment through the announce table. Cena started off with the STFU, had Gunther crawling to the ring. It already looked like Gunther already knew. Again, you got me once. You're not getting me again. Gunther had panic in his eyes. If I don't get to this ring, it's all right. If I don't get to that rope, it's over. Right out of the beginning, gave you hope. He starts putting in that chokehold. The thing is, wrestling can tell a story without it being too much. Cena only has so much in the arsenal. Gunther, I got everything and more to handle you. He did it to Goldberg. He bought the best out of Bill Goldberg. Think about that. He just had a classic with Solo Sikoa. It don't matter who Gunther goes up against. He respects that ring enough to give that ring its proper due, regardless of who it is. John, Mr. Never Give Up, hustle, loyalty, respect. Story time. This man literally had a moment where he put his hand up one more time for a 5-knuckle shuffle, and he said, "This isn't the last one. This is all I got." I'll never get over. It was a clip from Toonami back in the day on Cartoon Network from this anime called Outlaw Star. If you know, you know, right? but it reminds me of anime tropes, and maybe anime took it from wrestling. Maybe wrestling took it from anime, or maybe they took it from sports. The Hail Mary pass option. This dude, Gene from Outlaw Star, Bounty Hunter, he has one bullet in the clip, and he's looking at the final bad, and all he can say is, I got one left. I gotta make it count. And honestly, if you know the movie, forgive me, because I'm not remembering right out of the gate which movie it was, but it was a good movie. I think it was Robert Duvall who was in it, and I think even Sean Connery. But basically, he was this dude who never missed. He never missed, and it was the whole thing. The guy was pissed. He was like, "I want to shoot like you. I want to shoot like you." And when he's dying, he finally gets shot. He helps him, and he tells him, "You're not aiming at your target. You're aiming where he's gonna be." And like I said, in anime, One Piece right now, they just ended a good arc about God Valley against Rocks, Davy D. Zebek. And it showed homage. It was Monkey D. Garp against and Gold D. Roger, the king of the pirates. Though you find it all, I left it in one piece. They have a moment where they have to take out Rocks. And they literally say it. We can't beat him. He has an answer for everything. So they just come to terms. Dog, we got to hit him with everything we got. And it reminds me of Goku and Piccolo, if you don't know. Dragon Ball Z reference. Taking out Raditz. I got enough energy for a special beam cannon. It can take him out one time. It's going to take some time, but I know it's going to kill him. The only thing is, he has to be still. And Goku knew the assignment. Well, I'll hold him as long as I can. Cena hit this is all I got left. This is for all of you. I'm putting my hand up. This is the Spirit Bomb 5-knuckle shuffle. If I can get it, I got him. You can't see me. Bounces off the rope. Gunther's already freaking up. Gunther starts going for the power bombs, and he's just picking them up. Power bomb, going for the choke, hitting them. Elbow, 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 elbow. And you're just seeing life leave. Cena, you're seeing life leave the arena. Because this is something that you think about. All these years you've had, let's go Cena. Cena sucks. You never know what you got. You never value what you have until it's gone. And that's what happened last night. It's the last match. You want Cena to win. You want the man who never gives up to overcome the odds one last time. But to wrap this video up, what I said earlier, there's people who watch wrestling, there's people who study wrestling, there's people who are aware of wrestling, but there's a lore and there's a respect and there's a code. And there's a code that I've watched a decent good amount of videos and podcasts on, that it's simple and plain for someone who's watching for the first time. Any wrestler normally. And again, I have to explain this. You come in on your back, you leave out on your back. In other words, when you start your wrestling career, before even TV, those are the exceptions to the rules. Stone Cold Steve Austin did not just walk in on WWF and he was like that. He put in work. Undertaker, they all have a story. Cena, his first match could have been in a bingo bar. It could have been somewhere. It could have been at a flea market. You know what I'm saying? It could have been at a bingo barn. It could have been outside of it could have been inside of a church. I've seen anything. It could have been on a cruise. His first match, whether televised or not, he probably lost. It's a part of the business. If you're given that chance to win your first match, then be expected to pay that forward when it's your time to go out the door. Cena, Mr. Never Give Up. His debut match. And I want people to understand this because it was going to hurt regardless how it went. Right? Against Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle made Cena tap out. Kurt Angle made my dyslexia's real. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. Kurt Angle made Cena tap out in his first match. Right? Gunther said it. I'm the best wrestler. You're the best sports entertainer. I'm going to make you do what you said you would never do. I'm going to make you give up. Cena pulled out everything. 5 moves of doom. Gunther has an answer to everything. It gets to a point where you got to look at it. For us, it's entertainment. But look at, you don't understand the word insanity, right? To do something over and over again, to think you're going to get a different result. Insanity. This man pulled out everything. He knew he couldn't do his odes, his Sister Abigail, his RKO, his spear. What would it have done? What would it have done? Cena stuck to what he knew. Just like Stone Cold stuck to stomping a mud hole in you, hitting you with the elbow drop, Rock hitting you with the people's punches, setting you up with a people's elbow, pop you up for a rock bottom, Undertaker walking and doing the snake eyes, hitting you with a running big boot, hit you with the choke slam. You either getting hit with the final ride or the tombstone, the last ride, or the Hell's Gate. Kurt Angle, Suplex City, bitch. There's only so much. We love our key stars because they're relatable. And how are they relatable? Simplicity. The problem is when one simplicity meets the duality of another simplicity. The ring is sacred to Gunther. He has an answer for everything. He can beat you any which way he wants to. He makes the most simple moves effective because every move and action has a purpose. That's it. He's controlling the pace of the match. He's keeping the tempo. He's throwing you off. And when the man who never gives up has given everything that he has, he's told you, this is it. And Gunther put that man in the ring, wailed at him a couple more times. He fought out. He threw up the 3 fingers one more good time. And he knew nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I've been here for 20 plus years, man. I've given kids inspiration. I've given people hope. I took care of mine. I helped others eat. I was the bad guy when they needed me. I was the hero when they needed me. 17. I beat Ric Flair. 100 PLE wins. I go out a Grand Slam champion, winning the Intercontinental title in my hometown of Boston. I gave it all. I never wanted anything in return. I just want to pay it forward. I can't escape. Mr. Untouchable just got touched. Mr. You Can't See Me just been seen. Your boy tired. But you know what? All the places I've been, all the lives I've influenced, I wouldn't change anything for the world. I'm at peace. John Cena's done. Gunther, Oba, Mello, Ilya, Hendry, Ruka, Io, Rhea, Knight, Jacob. Y'all don't need me. Thank you, Gunther. It's yours now. Present meets future. John taps with a smile on his face. He tapped in his first match. He tapped in his last match. It didn't matter how it went. If he lost, people were going to be upset. But people forget the business, the art, the story. His time is up. Gunther's time is now. Oba's time is now. Tiffany Stratton's time is now. Lash Legend's time is now. Trick Williams, Ricky Saints, their time is now. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. You got people. Roman held it down. Cody's here. CM Punk's on a time limit. Seth Rollins. You don't need me no more. The only reason why you need me now is because now you're seeing the value that I brought while I was here. You now miss what you always had. But I gotta go. I got a wife. I got a job. I got family. It's their time now. Their time is now. This is hands down one of the best matches in my mind because of the story behind it. The backlash following it, I get it. It's warranted. It's understandable. But it's a business. Someone was going to leave unhappy. But you know what you do here too? John put Gunther over. Because I sat and thought to myself, what if John beat Gunther? Because that would add to a good story of layer. I can beat everybody. But the one match that haunts me, the one loss that haunts me the most is the one I'll never get back. Because if Gunther had lost to Cena, you got to think about that. His mission was to beat him. He'll never get another chance. Think about that. That would have been a good angle. But Gunther put away the unstoppable monster Goldberg, right? He beat the streak. And let's think about storytelling here. Gunther had a streak just as powerful as... Gunther's streak isn't bullshit. You saw all his wins. That's what it is. WCW fluffed Goldberg's. Gunther and Asuka, their streaks were legit. So why wouldn't the guy who had a streak not take out a guy who initiated the streak? Everyone has a kryptonite, right? Taker could never get Brock. John couldn't get Brock. Story. Batman the Joker, right? There has to be something. John Cena is Superman. Gunther is Doomsday. We know what happened. Gunther is Doomsday. Doomsday's going to adapt to everything. John had nothing left. And when you watch that podcast and he's explaining, looking at the prep time, thinking about Undertaker's last ride, what he said, I got one match, but I got to take all this time to prepare. Think about doing that every single day. John looks in great shape. We don't know his story. You get hung up on the hair plugs, but he's hurt just like anybody else. But he put him over. He put Gunther over. And now you're looking at Gunther as the guy that's going to put people down. Now here's another thing. Think about this with storyline. Now everyone's thinking it. I'm going to say it because I've heard it enough. Brock's on the way out. Who's going to beat Brock? Gunther. Why? Because now storyline, you're building an element here. Gunther beat Goldberg. Goldberg beat Brock. Brock beat Goldberg. Brock beat Goldberg and John Cena. Gunther has taken out Goldberg, and now he's taken out Cena. Two people that Brock has just knocked off and called it a day. But Gunther ran it back with them and brought the best out of them. So on one side, you're going to be like, I hate Gunther, but for everything that Brock has done, I want him to get done in. I didn't want Brock to win at WrestlePalooza. I want him to lose. But then you're going to have people rooting for Brock now. The good old country boy coming out of Saskatchewan, coming back, being Free Billy, doing flipping and falling and having fun, and Gunther looking at him like, you are a beast, but now you are a fool. I respected the Brock that destroyed, the Brock, the collegiate champion. But now you're not. You're building it. Because you're going to look at it, because now you're going to have something. Because now Brock has to go up against himself. Brock has to go up against another career ender. And Brock's on the way out. So you know who's going to win, right? Gunther. You're setting up the new final boss. He took out the guy, Goldberg, who was said to be unbeatable. Okay? He took him out. Streaks mean nothing to me. You take out the guy, no lie, our Hulk Hogan. The guy saying your prayers, taking your vitamins, never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect. You didn't break him, but you destroyed the facade. You shattered it. You brought things down. And that's what people don't seem to forget. This is real life. The good guy doesn't always win in the end. And Gunther brought that reality back to us. You know what I mean? This is adding layers to Gunther. This is solidifying him as the final boss. You're not anything if you can't beat me. And it ties even with Jey Uso. Jey Uso's now going through this traumatic thing where he don't know what he is anymore. It's going to lead to a storyline because of the simple fact he had to get his get back. He lost. He lost to Gunther. He beat Gunther. He's trying to fit in. He got the belt, but then he lost. He's trying to be out of Roman shadow. He's trying to figure out. He loves the Yeet. He loves that the fans love him in attendance, but the internet wrestling community all are up in arms about him, right? He's going through a transition. But then what if he clicks later on down the road and he remembers, I beat Gunther. But now he's got that twist to him. Am I right-hand man Jay? Am I main event Jay? Am I Yeaton? Or do I... he's going through a character turn that could lead to another great story and a better clash with Gunther. You know, you got to look at the snowball effect of wrestling. That is life. You don't get what you want. We wanted Jay as champion. Then we realized they realized it ain't working. The people are behind him, but they don't want him like that. But guess what? Guess how many other people went like that? Triple H won the title and then he lost it just like that. You know what I mean? That you got to look at it. Rock had the belt for a little bit, then lost it. Stone Cold, you got to do a litmus test. You got to see what works and what don't. A new version of Jay who, after going through maybe an anti-hero spin or something going up against Gunther, it could work out. You're setting up things, and that's what's going on with this storyline. Gunther is here now. Someone's going to have to beat him. Somebody from this new breed. And again, Oba Femi. Oba could be the answer to Gunther. Oba could be the guy that retires Brock. Braun Breaker could do that. There's a lot of options now moving forward, but we know that Cena's gone. But what does that mean? Cena's gone. You have Cody there. Cody's getting into Hollywood. Roman's already half the way out. CM Punk only has so much time left. Seth Rollins' body, he is one of the few men that you're seeing that has worse timing. Great opportunity to get over, build a new character, everything, and gets injured. Time's limited. But now you're opening it up now because Gunther's there. And Gunther, going back to Miz, Gunther wrestles safe. He's not gonna be doing anything risky to hurt himself. I've rarely seen him take any time off. He's going to be safe against his opponents. Even though he's hurting them, he's taking care of them. You're going to get more longevity out with Gunther compared to someone who was reckless like a Goldberg. Or someone who comes in and just doesn't care that day, like a Brock. Cena gave so much back. And I get it, the whole thing. Everyone crashed out at the end. Oh no. Boo, this is bull crap. But that's the business. That is life. The hero doesn't always win in the end. But that means by him stepping out of that spotlight, someone else can step into it. And we saw a lot of great talents that stepped up to the plate last night. They passed the litmus test. They made it. People love them. People are going to go and look at NXT even more now. Because guess what? Cena wanted to pay it forward. Past, present, and future were all in attendance. That night, somebody in that arena saw the video package owed to Cena. Someone saw Cena holding up both the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Undisputed Championship. A young lady, a young man was inspired to become the next big thing that night. Last night, a future or multiple Hall of Famers were birthed. Not just because of everything that was displayed and showcased because of the vision that Cena had, but even real talk, just like an anime or a manga, backstories. I remember when Jasper Troy did his promo against CM Punk talking about how he left him. There could be somebody who pulls up on Gunther and being like, I was there in DC when you beat my hero. I was there. Someone was going to be there to be like, my goal is to be the never seen 18 so I can finally shake the hand of Mr. 17. Somebody is going to be there that's going to want to do the charitable works and God's works that man John Cena did. Someone's going to step up where he no longer can. That is the beauty of this business. When you feel like you lost, you gain so much. And I'm just thinking about it myself. Gunther versus Jacob Fatu. You got what I mean? 5-star. Carmelo Hayes putting on a clinic. Giving his moment. Now he's going from being a heel with Miz to becoming a babyface helping out Ilya. And making it clear that he's looking at that championship. Don't get it twisted. The subtleties. And I want to say something too. One of the most beautiful things that I liked, during the package paying ode to Cena. One thing that I want, and I love storytelling because this is just me talking wrestling right now before I get out of here. As you can see, Alexa, right? Alexa does her thing. Oh, she got her look on her, right? One thing that I love is about John Cena. In wrestling, if you think about it, long-term storybooking, right? John Cena, let's talk about it. Cena came in, he tapped out. He left tapping out. Smile on his face, at peace, right? After he tapped out, when he lost the angle, he was upset, but he wanted to prove himself. He taps out to Gunther, he's at peace, I've done everything. And I want people to also realize this too. When Cena was standing in the ring after that bell rang, that wasn't John Cena, the wrestler. That was the man. So the facial expressions from hearing the boos to even catching him with them giving him the belt and telling him like, dog, like this ain't gonna work. I want people to understand that. This is the beauty and the beauty and the hideousness of wrestling. This didn't happen to Ric Flair, and we know how things went with Ric Flair, right? 4 horsemen coming out, everybody pulling up for Ric Flair. No one booed. They booed HBK because we know why. He had to put him down, right? But no one booed. This is a moment, and this is where people got to realize it's just like working in fast food, right? Sometimes the customer is right, but you have to have a moment where you got to realize you as the customer have a responsibility. This man gave his life to all of y'all. And I think about it like when JBL had a moment. JBL had Bradshaw. He was mentioned. He said it in a promo one time, and people boo about these promos, but these are real promos because it's the truth. You want me to be champion? Put it like Cody. You love the chase. You want me to finish the story. Now that I finished my story, I got the belt. Now y'all sick of me. I done fought everybody. What can I do? Then you want me to do a heel turn. I'm not going to give you a heel turn. It's not justified for my character right now, but you want me to do a heel turn because that's what you want, right? It's the same thing with wrestling. Like, dude, no one booed for Ric Flair's thing except for when HBK came out to pay his respect. And again, look at it. HBK was inspired by Ric Flair. He retired his hero. We do not know if Gunther, as he carries himself, if John Cena was his favorite. Sometimes you find out like about your favorite artist and it's like, yeah, you know, my favorite hip hop artist, he says that he jams out to some Sade or he's real big on Billy Joel. You know what I mean? Like quirks. Who knows? Gunther might have been the biggest mark for John Cena and we just don't know about it. But one thing that got me in the video, because I want to just keep talking because this is an ode to John Cena just talking about things. Alexa Bliss was in the video with her doll, right? Alexa did the homage to Cena, right? But the doll, because Alexa rolled with the Fiend, right? Alexa's change happened because of the Fiend, right? Tell me why in that Alexa's all happy. Yay, yay. I miss you. Thank you, John. But the doll had a shirt. And if you look at the shirt said, "We're not friends." Because the doll is birthed from the Fiend. And the Fiend, when he interacts with you, it changes you. The doll comes from the Fiend. The Fiend had beef with John for John hurting and disappointing Bray Wyatt. So in that package, if you look closely, the doll got a shirt on that says, "We're not friends," although Alexa is all happy and smiling. That's wrestling. But we had a moment, you know, and I'm sad that even Triple H, you know, this is the thing. If Triple H, they even had Vince McMahon say something. They pulled a clip up of Vince McMahon to add in there. You know, they were paying homage. They were doing the right beats. But the crowd The crowd had the right to be angry, but I also believe the crowd should have been responsible enough to take it in. Like, bro, like, I guess a lot of people were expecting, because it's Cena, he was going to win. But then you get hit with that harsh reality of the wrestling business, just like Undertaker. If Undertaker knew how things went, he would have retired and stopped at a certain point. He would have just stopped. But he had to keep coming back. Cena has learned from Undertaker. He saw how things went with Rick. He saw what Undertaker would try to achieve again. He's understanding what AJ Styles is going through now. He had to take in everything for what it was. And he has to accept it. If he goes back to watch that, he's going to have to accept the boos. And we are too. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part of it. Like, that he was going to stop wrestling, y'all. Like, it was the end. That was the whole point of it. The boo while this man is holding titles up, and then this man is literally taking a bow, thanking all of you. That's the duality of fandom sometimes. There's times where it's justified, like the yes movement and everything, pull the trigger, and then finish the story. And then there's other times like, dang, man, I would have loved to seen everyone just keep on going. And thankfully it did turn around near the end. But you could see as soon as like the boos and, Cody and CM Punk, whether that was already intended. You can even look at when they were walking down to the ring and see Sami Zayn talking to Kevin Owens. You could tell, like, on his face is like, I did not expect it to go like this, but at the same time, I know that I'm not going to come back out on another night to try to get that back. He made his peace, and we got to make our peace with it. But with this all being said, though, Cena's an amazing character. He's been a part of my life. To realize I've gotten to see the blessing of witnessing the entire career of Ray Lewis from the Baltimore Ravens, hailing from Maryland, right? I got to see his whole full career. And now to think, I got to see the entire wrestling career of John Cena. You think about that. There was a time where someone was there to see when Johnny Unitas and the Colts did their thing, right? There was a time for that Game 6 with Jordan, right? There was a time Patriots hit the three-peat, right? We half a century of Cena. 20 years of Taker. Not half a century, but you know what I mean. 25, a quarter of Cena, right? A quarter century. We got him, though. 12 days of Christmas on that side, right? 12 days of Christmas, log in every single day, knock that out. We got the prize walls. No lie for me, because I'm at peace. I don't know how much further I'm going to get because I've done everything. I will suggest this. I am turning this over to this so I can tell you, look, if you're going to go in, look at your roster, see who utilizes these plates if you get enough to afford them. The barber's plates, the trap plates, you can pick them up at another time. They're not really worth it. I mean, they rotate out, so if you need one of these colors, then by all means, go ahead and pick it up. Pick it up for your Radical Seth, or pick it up for your Alexa, or your Julius Creed, so on and so forth. Go ahead and do that for yourself. Outside of that, you got these straps from Mark Henry. Again, move damage build if you want to. Gem defense. I've watched Lee's video. I'm a fan of the hybrid belts because there's different ways, and it's cool if you don't play my way. That's why I play it my way. So me looking at it, someone said it the other day. It was like, dude, I use a community strap with the yeet and the drip because it's 100% gem damage all the way around, and regardless of who I put it on, it's going to benefit them. And aside from that, I mean, makes it easy. I mean, I don't have the candy store account. I'm working with what I got. If I got a universal strap that's going to give everyone 100% gem damage, and I'm working on using someone who's gem damage based, it makes sense. But then there's other characters, like my Gunther, where I have 100% gem damage, but then I have gem defense. Why? Because to me, it makes sense. Gunther is offensive heavy. He's already set up as a technician. Technicians are balanced characters. Doesn't mean because he's balanced, he's going to hit harder, but he has multiply gems, so he will hit hard. But he isn't, I don't have a setup on him where he can knock out someone all the time, depending on how many green gems I'm able to put on or what I'm decide the match. So if worst case scenario, someone does have some life left, the gem defense gives me a cushion enough to make sure that they stay down. That's why I play with stuff like that. Or even something as simple as a vitality strap with gem defense. You got more health. You might not hit the hardest, but it's going to reduce your opponent's gem damage. So you might have a chance to get out of it. You got to look at different belts. It's already easy to be like, hey, move damage guy or girl, put move damage. Well, why not put gem defense on them to keep them down? You know what I mean? Or something. Or, just because someone's move damage doesn't mean their health's great. Have a vitality strap with takedowns on it. Or, there's different ways to play the game. But if you want to strap for him, go ahead. They got the 200%ers out here. For Rando, of course. But it's a new meta. It's RNG. I don't think they were brave enough to make these the universal straps where it's everybody. So you're going to get 200% of somebody. I personally would lean with the modern era, or I would lean with either a modern era first and foremost because everyone does modern era. We got more modern era than anybody. Then I would go with Attitude Era because people got a soft spot for it. I will follow up with Legends. New Gen, all the other ones are pretty niche. So but the first one I would pick up would be the Modern Era just because Modern Era is the era that we're in. So that's how we got to look at it on that side when it comes to this prize wall. They do have the affiliation strap, so by all means go ahead. But look at your roster first and figure out what you want to pick up. The bundles with the medals and stuff, it's up to you if you want to go for it. Me personally, I would strongly suggest picking up the Damian Priest +2 multiplied gem strength. I cannot remember the color off the rip. I'm thinking he's red. I think he's because Andre's red. So Damian is +2 black. +2 black MP and +2 multiply gem. Get him. You got to take him up to 6-star gold. You're going to get him right here. You're going to get plenty of shards to pull him. He's going to help out your account. 400, you're not missing it. I say go get him. Me personally, and people aren't going to hate me, well, I got all these people except for Austin. It is what it is. I'm not losing sleep over it. Woods is great. Go ahead and pick him up. Visionary Seth, Dom, they're all great options. They're all great. Me personally, though, depending on how much I'm able to get later on, I'm probably going to get these because I'm close to Gunther. I like Gunther. I like Walter. At me, it is what it is. I love Gunther. I like different people for different things. Like, it's no different than basketball. Like, yeah, I love the Chicago Bulls, but I'm a fan of other athletes. I love the Dallas Cowboys, for better or worse, but I'm a fan of other teams and their players and their history and their lore. It's the same thing. I like Ray. Ray's one of my favorite for high flyers, hands down. But acrobat-wise, I'm using Jacob Fatu. It's no different. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I am who I am. But for me, I'm probably going to go ahead and pick those up. Gets me closer to him. 500, 400 more, 440. And I'll have them if my math is right. So that's probably the thing I'm going to pick up. And then you're always going to have your resources in your econ. The last time and now, I literally picked up everything that I needed. This, to me, this is no lie. Sir Zoro explained this, and basically what he said is for the 600 one, basically, if you got all the Cenas, you're going to get up to like 550 or something. You're still going to have to spend. They have deals now where you can get the other medallions, but again, you're going to have to spend. And the blue banner that goes to it, it's all the Cenas. You're going to either pull mad shards of a Cena, or if you get the stars, you're pulling a great Cena. Not against it. But what way that Sir Zoro explained it, and I'm going to break it down to you, is this doesn't proc. So in other words, it's going to do what it does, but it isn't going to be like a rumble plate or anything. So that's got me like, well, I'm kind of glad I would get it because of the fact of FOMO, right? Got to spend to get it. Whenever you break 10 yellow, generate green, right? But again, look at, I'll show you, like I show my John Cena. The way he's set up, it's not going to proc. You're not going to get an extra hit of damage like you would if you were using something like I do, like the Mae Young's crown. So you got to look at it like that. It's a good one, but kind of. And then we got this one right here. I automatically picked it up, Chain of Command, because right out of the gate, Stacy Keibler, Trickster Waifu, is my Laifu. So I thought about her automatically. Then, of course, the Broskis, I think Merrick's and Sir Zoro both dropped a video while I was recording this, actually, or before, for Veteran Salute Cena, because he does use silence gems, does beef him up. Silence gems multiply. He's going to hit harder with that plate on it, and it makes sense. It's Veteran Salute Cena, Black Friday option. Always done a thing for the troops, let alone with his Make-A-Wish Foundation. So he always does stuff, for the right thing. So it makes sense for him to have a chain of command plate. So I went and copped that. For me, if you don't got the farewell tour, one, you're going to get enough to get it. Pick it up. It's an easy clap. These 2 moments, if you don't have them, I strongly suggest going with the farewell tour. The farewell tour is going to make more sense because it affects all Cenas. And there's going to be more Cenas coming. Who knows, right? Tribute to the troops is great, though. Does help Cena. But for me, if I was looking at just building up my Cenas and knowing how great a lot of them are, I would go farewell tour. If you're someone that's got a Hulk Hogan laying around and a reworked Mankind, and of course a couple reworked Cenas, I would say go and pick up both. Pick your battles, but I would go with the farewell tour first. Next up, you already see I made my purchase. I did not have Black Friday Veteran Salute Cena's gear for move damage 100%, so I went and purchased it. I went ahead and got it. I already pulled You Can't See Me Trickster Cena. That is valid. I do have him on my roster. And I already got his gear. So there's no point in me getting it. +6 MP makes him do some crazy shenanigans, especially with all the zombies that we just got out of here. The one gear I did not have for the reworked Showboat Hustle Loyalty Respect Cena that everyone gets out of the beginning of the game. Honestly, I haven't played the game in a while, and I'm not too sure if you still get all the same. Originally, when I played, you got Showboat Rock, and Powerhouse Roman Reigns. Don't know if they do it now, but especially with the rework, I don't know. Be cracked if they did. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, went ahead and picked that gear up for him. So I got all of the OG Cena's gears now. So that was the one that was always unavailable. Tried doing the pulls for it, the gear pulls, couldn't. Ministry of Business, again, me personally, the strap, the new plate for Cena, it's going to work, but it ain't going to proc the way you want it to proc. So to me, I'll go with the Ministry Business if you did spend the $600K. The reinforcement, you don't need to get it because simple fact, you're going to be, it's cheap. It's cheap. It literally was just on the prize wall the other day. If you want it, you're either going, you got a better chance of pulling this out of a chest or something. You don't need to. But if you want it, by all means, go ahead and do it. But I don't think it's worth that price. Again, look at the currency amount of the things. You could have gotten 2 moments for the price of that. Nah, stop. Even these, they're all plates that help different Cenas. That's the whole point of it. You literally look at it, multiplies and stuff. You got that there. Submissions, we got that. All the different types of traps, we got those. Got reinforced gems. You got silence gems. This is all about Cena. Shard-wise, again, depends on who you have. I got lucky and blessed, and I actually pulled 6-star bronze Showboat Special Edition Cena. So, Leech gems are complete with him. Austin Theory, Io Sky or Shirai, and Special Edition Cena. So all my Leech Gem damage peer bringers are already covered when it comes to that. So I didn't need to pick that up, but maybe you're close. Maybe you need those last bit of shards. And they also have this right here. They have the 6-star fuses. Like again, I wasn't going to put no tokens into Evil Robot Cena or the prototype. Free MLEs, but I didn't have them. So now I cleared the tours and got their bonuses, but why not get the fuse of them? What the heck not? And on top of that, pay close attention. You got a 6-star fuse for all of these. All of these Cenas got reworks. So they're going to be doable to help out your account, especially if you're a free-to-play player that's able to do stuff and pick these up. I'd say go ahead and get it. You got different classes, different coverage. Cena's your guy. I would look at it like that. If you literally just started the game and downloaded because of it, I would do as much as you can, get as much currency as you could, and pick these up. That's just saying. And they gave you 5 of the Veteran Salute Cenas. Now, you want to think about this. On one side, you're like, it's 5, but you're thinking, if you buy it the first time, let's say you don't have them, you're recruiting them at 6-star, right? Then on top of that, everything else afterwards is the thousands and thousands of shards to take him up. Work on his moves, move him to 6-star silver, 6-star gold. It makes sense. You need shards. They're a specific type. So he's got you. If you need shards for somebody to take up, here you go. There you are. So that's how I feel about that. I mean, obviously, we got the regular prize walls going to be building up for Mark Henry. The Mark Henry, like I said, look at your count, figure out what you're doing. I would love to get Mark Henry's plate right here. I picked up the Gruesome Guys plate with the discounted prize wall. I picked that up because I am going to recruit him. I've been wanting Mark Henry to be in the game. It was so good to see him last night at Saturday Night Main Event. Because no lie, with that being said, I'm just calling my shot here. And I want to just speak on something too. Now that I'm thinking about it, realistically, this whole MLE is actually pretty decent and pretty cool. Oh wow, okay, we literally just hit the changeover on that. So obviously, my game ain't going to be changed up yet because I haven't logged out. So that is what it is. But with that being said, the cool thing about the Deck the Ring is this: we got another Mark Henry. Where for a minute I thought we weren't going to get a Mark Henry. I thought he was in limbo. So Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry is Apex, Attitude Era Showboat. I'm so happy they did that because, again, it was on my list years ago. I said it makes sense for him to be a Showboat. I just want to give it all to you. Maybe we do get a plate with the hand with Mae Young. I don't know, but he's a move damage beast. So getting him, we get a new Mark Henry, meaning we could get the chance of a rework to the World's Strongest Man powerhouse Mark Henry with the Santa gear. They just did Mick Foley, making him a problem. We could get that with that Mark Henry. But it also brings up something else that's pretty cool too. I was disappointed about one thing with Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry, but I'm not mad because it's not his fault. If they can do another faction-themed MLE, because that's basically what this kind of is. We can get Nation of Domination Mark Henry. I was kind of looking for him to have the Nation of Domination link, and then we would have had the full set because you have Farouk come in as the leader. You got Kama as a free-to-play. You had D-Lo as a chase. Then you also had The Rock. Have The Rock as a S-tier BS crazy, have to spin, no shards at all. Either you get him or you don't banner. Those were the days. We got to get Mark Henry in because they'll tell you the truth. Until things get right between WWE and the Hart family, we're not getting Owen Hart. So a Nation of Domination Owen is definitely out of the question. But we can get a Nation of Domination Mark Henry, and we could have a full set there. Then on top of that, we also have Roxanne. So now you have the whole Judgment Day now, basically, except for Carlito. That ticks me off. I'm not even going to lie to you. But basically, you got the whole set now. You have the originals. You have the originals in Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest. Then you had the addition of JD McDonough. Then we had the new version of. Then we had Dominic Mysterio join the fray, right? You had I remember when they had that MLE where they were all the Judgment Day. So I like when they do a faction theme MLE. That is pretty cool. I do like that. But you literally had Rhea, Finn, Damian, Dominic all come out. Then you had JD McDonough pull up with R-Truth, who was like quote unquote buddy with him. Then you got Raquel coming in as a free to play. She's in on it. You got two new versions of Dom, Striker and Showboat, both beasts representing the Judgment Day. You got Tech Live Revenge Tour rolling with them. And now you have Roxanne. You don't gotta put on the red light. So yeah, Judgment Day and they lean on the Judgment Day, but you have all of the Judgment Day too. Now you have the Vision with Bronson Reed pulling up. So now that leaves us the question. We just realized Kelly Bombshell's coming. But S+ tier Braun Breaker, you got a free-to-play Bronson Reed, Tribal Thief. It makes sense for an S+ tier Braun, especially with him talking his talk like he's done on Raw. We'll see how things go. But realistically, this game has come a long way. And a lot of it's all because of John. John Cena is the first... Lee said it in his seven things. He's the first character you get. He's probably going to be a character that's always going to get multiple versions of, whether it's action figures, crossovers. They don't show his mace. It is what it is. Faker here. Here's looking at you, my guy. Finally did that, right? But the thing is, John, oh man, John just played such a key role all the way around. And I'm glad and I'm thankful that we get moments like this where we get to pay homage to somebody. The MLE, everything. They like, Scopely was on top of it with this one, you know? So this is another one. Didn't expect to be short as long as it is. But I'm just so caught up now when I'm thinking about everything, like with the how they have it set up with the factions. Bronson Reed, could Braun Breaker show up as the S plus? I could see it, and I could see people going all the way in with it. Especially if he's a powerhouse, they could easily. No lie, Braun is one of those characters where I feel that he could get away with being a double up. Because they already have him as a modern era powerhouse and striker, as a free-to-play and a chase already. I could see Braun's one of those guys I'd have no problem with him being literally another powerhouse or striker. Those are the ones that they're synonymous. They make sense with him. And because he's heel, I can see him being a trickster. I could see him getting a plate. I could see them having a plate around Paul Heyman if it is about the Vision. They could do a surprise one and do a Logan Paul the Vision. I don't know. There's a lot of ways they can go with it. But seeing the Vision MP there lets us know Braun Breaker is coming. Braun Breaker has to show up. You got the Visionary Seth that pulled up last month. You got Bronson Reed, and you got Braun Breaker showing up one way or the other. There's coming a new Braun. So it is what it is on that. But seeing that come full scale, having John Cena, Saturday Night Live. I was about to say Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Main Event was amazing. Storytelling was great. The career was immaculate. To have the blessing to be able to witness a prestigious career, to see someone do the same job for 20 plus years is phenomenal in itself. Some of us can't even last a day at a job, let alone you're making it a career, and that blessing you to bless others in more ways than one. So this is just a thank you letter to John, man, because seeing him lose, it brought me to tears last night. But I also respect the business, and I understand that he did the right thing. He did what needed to be done. And so with that, I can only say thank you to John Cena. I can only say thank you to the good folks at Scopely for putting him in the game. Like, again, this is another reason why this game is amazing. Kamala is in the game. Johnny Knoxville was in the game. The Turtles are lurking, Tekken. John's been a part of all of this, man. And they could do a Tekken crossover, and they could have John pull up as a variant, just like they did with Ghostbusters. There's so much they can do here. And this man deserves to keep on getting his flowers. And no lie, I respect anyone's word. If you tell me what you tell me, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. But if you are bold enough and confident enough to speak something into reality, I want to see you for better, positive things, right? I want you to see it to fruition. For me, I believe when John says that he's done, he's done. Even with the facial expression and, having to take on the booze and everything, for everything that man has given, for everything that man has done, I can genuinely believe when he said that he's not coming back, he ain't coming back. I don't think no amount of money is going to cost. He's done everything. You can't, when you are literally the guy that never seen 17, you've won every belt, you put people over, you made people's wishes come true. You fed not only your family, but multiple families, from the producers, the writers, to other wrestlers. You've done TV shows, movies, commercials. What is there left for that man to do? He doesn't owe you anything. He doesn't owe me anything. They don't owe us explanations. He left it in the ring. And for that, I got to say thank you, John. That's like that. Thank you, John. This was literally my ode to John, just because, again, I grew up on this dude. Here comes the pain. Shut your mouth. winning with him, going through everything, doing all the missions before they were missions and objectives, then SmackDown versus Raw to get that spinner belt. Come on now. Memories. Downloading this game after WrestleMania and getting the John Cena. Not knowing a 1-star would one day be a 6-star. Stories. Ghostbuster Cena bringing in a whole new meta. Memories. So many John Cena requirements, and now there's so many of them in the game you can't lose. For the longest time, he said, "You can't see me, but I see you, John." Hey, yo. The bad guy sees you. And that's why we do stuff like this. Simple stuff. I'll equip it one time. Don't even use him for move damage or whatever. But one time, right? One time, because we got it. You know? It's just beautiful, man. This man, my childhood, man. I can't get over it. Middle school, high school, community college. This man has been grown. I grew up watching this man. I grew up seeing his first match on a little box TV with antennas with foil on the tips. Watching him roll up on Kurt Angle. Memories that I wouldn't change for the world. He did everything he could. That's what I got, y'all. That's the best way to put it. He gave everything. So, you know what? I want him to enjoy his vacation. He earned it. And WWE Champions wouldn't be where it is today if it weren't for John Cena. Let's keep it a spade. And the real cool thing that I like, that's kind of cool now that I think about it too, all of the big name wrestlers, bear with me, each one, or better yet, all of the main guys of the WWE, the WWF, in one format or the other, has been given out as a free to play. Even if they started out as a mega. You got Cena. Santa Hogan counts. Because you can get Hulk Hogan. You can get Bruno Sammartino. You can get Roman Reigns. You can get Rock. You can get Seth. It's amazing now that I think about like all the big names that held stuff down. Like a majority of them you can now get for free. And that's just something beautiful too. There was a time where that wasn't happening. There was a time where Bruno Sammartino wasn't thought of. You know what I mean? There was a time where Tribal Chief OTC, he could have still been wearing the vest, y'all. You know? So we done came so far. We're going on 9 years of champions. I'm thinking a decade. But when time flies so fast and you've been playing this game as long as I have, days blend together because there's always a lot of content to be done. But with that being said, y'all, hey, yo, hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last. Champions do. Mad love and respect to each and every single one of you, of my beloved Champions fam. Like the video, share the video, hype the video. But most importantly, if you haven't done so already, just do yourselves a favor by making sure to drop a people's elbow on the subscribe button, as well as hit a razor's edge on the bell icon so you can be notified at all times for all formats of content coming from yours truly, the one and only bad guy of WWE Champions, Zeke 4-0, the most electrifying content creator in WWE Champions Entertainment. I love you all. I respect you all. I'm praying for y'all tenfold. Let the good times roll. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. Doesn't matter what you're going through. And doesn't matter where you're headed. Just know that in my eyes and from the bottom of my heart, you always and forever will be a champion. And this man right here is the champion because he is the one and only, the never seen 17. Grand Slam champion, Money in the Bank winner. Even one of the first to get the Money in the Bank and not do a successful cash in. The first ever to be cashed in on New Year's Revolution. One of the first times ever in an elimination chamber where the champion lost. You knew he was not going. Whoever won that belt. And look who won that belt. Bray Wyatt. First time ever seeing that. A lot of firsts thanks to John. A lot of firsts. But now, his story, his chapter's concluded. And with so many other great authors and writers that have stepped up to the plate, as we've seen from last night's showcase, John was all about giving. He gave back in the end. And that whole night last night was about giving back. Showcased a lot of great talent. He let you know you're in good hands. I don't need to come back. My work laid down the groundwork for this to be what it is. And so for that, thank you. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for everything that you represent. And the legend can only get spread even further now because the full book, the full work is complete. So with that being said, y'all, I spoke what I needed to. Took care of a tour that I wasn't supposed to. We'll see how that goes. But aside from that, man, I got nothing but love and love for each and every single one of you, my broskies and siskies. Thank you for your time. This is another video where I don't care about, like any video, I don't care about views. I just do what I need. It's on my heart to do it, and I wanted to do it. So this is just what it's about. This is my love letter to John Cena. Shout out to champions. Shout out to the amazing career that he had. And I'm just excited to see who got next. Who's going to be the next face that runs the place? You know, so that I am truly ecstatic to see who's going to connect. You know, because in the end of the day, Cody can go heel. Roman can commit full time to movies. Seth might just settle down, you know, step away right along with Becky. Everyone has a time. It's what you do at that time. Again, Rock and Stone Cold did so much in so little bit of time. But then you got someone like Ric Flair. You got someone like Hogan that changed things in different decades. Same thing with Cena. Cena's been there. He's done it. You know, we got to look at stuff like that. Even things like Chris Jericho. He's the first ever undisputed world champion. First ever. And he's the first ever AEW world champion. You can't take that from him. This is like, no one's going to take that away from Jericho. The first ever WWE undisputed champion, the first ever AEW world heavyweight champion. Some people are just known for certain things. Ultimo Dragon being the belt collector. The original, okay? Before Mercedes Moné, before Kenny Omega, Ultimo Dragon was doing it. So everyone plays a part. Everyone does something, they contribute. I'm excited to see who steps up next to do so because they got some big shoes to fill. But honestly, don't fill his shoes. Solidify your own. So until next time, y'all, thank you so much for your time. Thank you again to John Cena. God bless you and yours, every single one of y'all, my beloved #Champions fam. And until next time, hey yo.